Right then, Module 5, finding the area of basic shapes, roundabout. This is working around D grade. Okay, and we're going to look at finding the area of a triangle, parallelogram, kite and trapezium. If you want to try these questions before I do it, then pause the video at each time I go to a different shape, okay? So pause now if you want to try and work out the area of this triangle before I do. Okay, area of the triangle. You've got 8 by 10, so 8 times 10. Now 8 times 10 would give you a rectangle, so to get the area of a triangle you've got to half it. 8 times 10 is 80, divided by 2 is going to be 40, and the units you've got here are centimetres, so the answer is in centimetres squared. Right then, parallelogram. I scroll down slightly. Good, might just zoom out a bit. Super. Right, parallelogram. Absolute key to this is you find the perpendicular height of the parallelogram. Okay, it's going to be, the answer is actually just 5 times 9, which equals 45 centimetres squared. Very briefly, the reason for that is that if you take that triangle there and transpose it, then it will fit exactly over here, creating a rectangle which is, excuse me, 5 high and 9 across, and that's why it's 5 times 9. The absolute key is to work out what this perpendicular height is. If you haven't got that, you haven't got a chance. Right then, next one. What have we got? Right, let's have a look. Not that one I'm after, it is the kite I'm after. Right, okay, you want to find the area of the kite. You're given the total height of the kite and the total width of the kite. Just put on quickly that they've given you the length of these sides. If you're dealing with area, you only ever want sides that are perpendicular to each other. Now, or lengths, should I say, that are perpendicular to each other. Now these two lengths here are perpendicular to each other. So these are irrelevant. You don't need them. In fact, I can completely rub them out. Unless I'm dealing with perimeter, I don't care what they are. Right, so what's it going to be? Well, the length down there is 12 and the width there is going to be 6. So if I multiply 12 by 6, what I'm going to get is what? 12 times 6 equals 72 centimetres squared, again because we're dealing in centimetres. Right, now 72 centimetres squared is actually going to be the full rectangle, okay? In each case we want half of each quadrant. So we want actually half of what was there before, a bit like with the triangle. Okay, because essentially this is just 4 triangles. So that's 12 times 6 divided by 2. A neat way of doing it is saying that, well, 6 divided by 2 is 3, so that's 12 times 3, which is going to give you 36 centimetres squared. So the actual full area of the kite is 36 centimetres squared, not 72, because that would be the area of a rectangle which is 6 across and 12 high. Okay, onto the trapezium. Again, you pause in these videos if you fancy having a go yourself. Right, the trapezium, spot the length. To start off with, which length don't we need? We're dealing with area, have a think now, which length don't we need? Pause it if you need to. Right, we're interested in lengths that are at 90 degrees to each other, so we've got widths, top and bottom, and then we've got perpendicular height. The 7 is at an angle, so it's pointless. It's irrelevant to the finding the area here. Right, the rule for this is you add your top and your bottom lengths, so that's 6 plus 9, and then you half them, and then that result you multiply by your perpendicular height, and that's for any trapezium. If you take your top and your bottom height, add them up and half it, then multiply by your perpendicular height, you're going to get your area. So 6 plus 9 is going to be 15, halved is 7.5. times by 5, and if you haven't got a calculator, 7 fives is going to be 35, and half of 5 is going to be 2.5, so the answer is 37.5 centimeters squared. Oh, my apologies. There you go, there's the calculations.